Hi, I'm Marianne and welcome to Back on Campus. Mathilda, how did you end up studying at Murdoch and why?
Okay, this is a very funny story. A whole bunch of my friends, we were all supposed to go to Melbourne and study together. It was my mother actually who had read that there was a fantastic journalism program at Murdoch University, and she was like, let's just go to Perth and see how the campus is like. And what I loved about it is that, like, there were tutorials being held on the grass. They had the best infrastructure, like, for media, for TV, for radio, all of the latest equipment was out. And I just went, I think this is the right place.
What did you end up studying at Murdoch and what was it like?
I did a double major in broadcast journalism and screen studies. I really wanted to know how to make films, but I wanted to be very hands-on. And that was also something that was so important for me. And at Murdoch, you can't just coast on knowing the theory and not being able to apply it. I really enjoyed that vibe at Murdoch, where it was a place where you just had so many different students. There was always something, somebody had some sausage sizzle fundraiser for something going on.
And we still do.
Yeah, so, and I learned so much about environment, I learned about indigenous people, I learned so much about things that were not necessarily related to being a filmmaker. But in that sense, it was like the kind of place where you don't mind spending 48 hours just like playing with lights or with, testing out different lenses. It's like the place that taught me how to be addicted to your craft.
What have you done in your professional life since then?
After Murdoch, I actually had a job waiting for me as a regional correspondent at ABC. So that was going to be great. And then my cousins in Singapore were like, why don't you just try out for Singapore Idol? So then I was in Singapore Idol. I became like this TV personality and like singer and performer and actress and all of that. But I was also working as a producer and a director behind the scenes. So it was great because I could do so many things.
Can you tell us a bit about the Ocean Purpose Project?
I used to paddle for Team Singapore and Dragon Boat, as well as an outrigger canoe. It was a race in the Philippines in Boracay in 2015, where I was paddling and winning a lot of medals, that I was actually exposed to polluted water. And I felt very, very sick. And that's where my life direction changed. I developed vitiligo, my hair turned all white, so I dyed black. I lost the ability to speak for 6 months. I had developed muscular spasms, difficulty walking. Everything that I'm so confident about that I can do as a communicator, as a broadcaster, I completely can't do anymore. And so the Ocean Purpose Project is about how do I take everything that I've learned throughout my life to be able to create something that would be beneficial to the world. The kinds of projects that we work on are things like converting ocean plastics into hydrogen. So that's waste management, that's also energy. We also work with poor fishermen or poor coastal communities. And I think the path to this was kind of also, it began at Murdoch, like this constant questioning, right? This constant like pressing and like asking. That's really kind of shaped my life.
Thank you, Mathilda, for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much.